NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole, with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything: birdie opportunities, holes that are fraught by water, bunkering that's been changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
Par 5 13, Frank, what kind of scoring opportunity is this?
Well, anytime you get on a par 5, obviously birdies and eagles come to mind. 13's been changed a little bit over the years. The split fairway's gone, now it's just one fairway. Water in play, bunker on the left side, they certainly define this fairway. And they've toughened up the front and left side of this par 5 green. The longer hitter, the high ball hitter, still will get a reward at 13.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
What a drive. Just tattooed that.
Second shot.
Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Oh, that hurts. You hate to miss the short ones. Ouch. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. With that birdie, moves one shot closer to the lead. Par 4 14th, Frank, it seems as though you'd be pretty happy with a par here.
You would, even though the putting surfaces here at TPC Scottsdale are excellent. It's going to take 2 good shots to reach this 14th hole. You can get in a little bit of trouble off the tee. That bunker on the left very much in play. The rough on the right side is no snack either, because the ball, more often than not, will finish well above the player's feet. And of course that green is very, very narrow, well protected by bunkers on the left.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Good lie in the fairway, a good chance to make something happen here. Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Just a beautiful approach shot. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Just has the feel today. Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen. But this one here is all about finding the fairway. A good drive down here will be well rewarded because you'll have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2.
Frank, even at major championships, a good crowd on a single day might be 25 to 30,000. Consider this for just a moment. At the TPC Scottsdale in 2013, round number 3 on Saturday, almost 180,000 fans jammed into that ballpark.
It's hard to imagine that's twice the gate at a Super Bowl on a golf course. Now, obviously, some of it's hidden because of the size of the acreage, but golf just doesn't get that type of crowds anywhere else in the world. But it works at TPC Scottsdale. They have a crowd that keeps going back. They have the Bird's Nest, for example, that goes there. The parties that ring around there. It's an atmosphere that golf never gets anywhere else, but it really works there. The players feel it too. They breathe it. And this is 1 week of the year, just 1 week, where they do feel like superstars.
It's a mix of soft spikes and stiletto heels. There's nothing quite like the TPC Scottsdale. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Now the second shot to the par 5. Good-looking shot right here. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's that sneaky distance. sudden put the name back into the mix just when we thought it might be too late.
Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist pumping, the rowdy spectators. I mean, he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory McIlroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
No damage done, made the par. Frank, 16 was fun. 17 is always exciting here at TPC Scottsdale.
You've got to be careful because that water that sort of goes around the left side of the green, if that ball's coming in with a little bit of hook, it's just going to keep going left. There's the one bunker you really have to focus on. That's the one in the middle of the fairway. 280 will carry that. Chances are the ball can run onto the green. It takes a brave man really to try and fly this ball all the way there. It's not really needed because there's always another 10 or 15 yards of run. Factor that in.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The two greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron, that's right, a 3-iron, on a short bunker shot from a green side bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sand wedge. Amazing. Getting set now over the putt. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Rich, 18 was always considered a long finishing hole.
Not for J.B. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, evidence, the new bunkering down the left side. But it showed us all how much and how strong these guys are, how much they've improved over the years. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Had a birdie here yesterday, in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present opening round coverage of the Open Championship. Always great to be in Troon, Scotland at the Royal Troon Golf Club, founded in 1878. Frank, it is a golf course, true links. It's bathed in history. Been some outstanding shot making to this point. Let's see what's happening now as we resume the action at the 7th. Frank, nothing spectacular to this point in the first round. What does the player need to do just to kind of generate some momentum?
I actually think they're playing all right, Rich. It's just, you compared to the top of the leaderboard, you start to think, well, maybe they're struggling. But there's ebbs and flows in this game. At the moment, it's just sort of almost like a holding pattern. But it's time to change that.
Excellent looking shot here. So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. That'll be from about 90 yards away. Frank, the Open Championship will be played at Royal Troon in 2016. It was first played back in 1923. What was first prize then?
A mere 75 pounds, so that equates to about $150 US. And just to give you an idea, the last time they played there, Rich, was back in 2004 when Todd Hamilton beat Ernie Els. He got a whopping 720,000 pounds. That's right, nearly $1.5 million.
The money's nice, but every player would tell you, Frank, it is still all about that claret jug.
It is, and that's actually suited the Americans because since 1962, they've been to Troon 6 times, and 6 times the victor has been American.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Back to the action here as we get ready to tee off at the par 3 8th.
Yeah, 5 bunkers surround this green that's perched up. The 2 really to avoid, they're on the right side. They're incredibly deep pot bunkers.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. How about that shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close? That's good. Settles in over the putt.
Whoa, that was unexplainable. I thought that was easily going to be a par.
Now we'll have to focus. Try to make bogey. Just a couple of feet. That is another bogey. It's getting messy, Frankie.
Ouch.
Frank, how does the front 9 finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 ninth is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dogleg to the right. Just one bunker down the left to be avoided. game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Shot from 115 yards with a breeze coming at his back.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle. These putts keep the round together. Solid effort and reasonable result to stay at 1 over par. Front 9 is in the rearview mirror here at Royal Troon. Rich Lerner pleased as always to be alongside Frank Navalu, who played Royal Troon in the Open Championship twice. This back 9 getting underway, and we start with the 10th hole, and Frank, a blind tee shot.
Yeah, from the championship tees, the hole bends to the left. Really, you don't want to hit the ball more than 280, 290 yards. Otherwise, you'll run out of fairway. From there, just a short iron.
This becomes a different kind of battle out there today with these strong, gusty winds. Players will have to think, they'll have to take extra club, and this will not be easy.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Now the second shot from 130 yards. Strong winds continue to be a factor. Frank, I know you've played all over the world. How much did you enjoy the challenge of playing into a stiff breeze?
Well, it was a chance to separate yourself from the rest of the field, Rich. Just like these conditions we're seeing right now. You've really got to be smart, pick the right shot. If you get too aggressive on a day like today, you'll pay a far more severe price than normal.
Club selection obviously is crucial.
Oh, it's imperative today.
Take an extra club or two, choke down.
Very much so.
And getting ready for the putt. Frank, that looked good to me. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Standing over the ball here at the par 4 11th. Frank, quite a hole.
The tee shot is so important here. This is one tee shot. If you miss, you will pay the price deeply.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the Seagulls are walking to work. I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Locked in on the read and the speed. Nice putt, and now back to level par. Frank, how do you size up the 12th hole here at Royal Troon?
Well, first look at 430 yards, you'd think it'd be a rather easy par 4. But that's not really the issue. The issue is gorse right and left.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. And they're close, about 8 feet from the cup.
Even par currently.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
So just a formality here. Did the job right there. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. Frank, through the years, there have been some great winners at the Open Championship played at Royal Troon.
Well, just in recent history, remember Mark Kalkovecchia in the playoff with Wayne Grady and Greg Norman. There was also Todd Hamilton when he beat Ernie Els in the 4-hole playoff. And back in 1996, Justin Leonard was to win his Open Championship.
Tom Watson also won an Open Championship here. Tom Weiskopf, his only major, that was 1973. The great Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke, they all won at Royal Troon. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second nine.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going? Ah, nice.
Looks good. Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. We'll call this 140 yards to the flagstick. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. On the green in regulation. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed. When you consider the length of that putt, that's a good putt.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, you come to an Open Championship and you expect to hear the term gorse. You see it here on the 11th hole. If you do end up in the gorse, what can you possibly do to get out?
Well, anything you can. A lot of the times it's an unplayable lie, but if you remember back 2004, Ernie Els tried to play a ball when it was suspended about 3 feet off the ground and managed to flick it out of the sort of the thorny gorse.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realize the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
A good 29-foot putt here. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
He needs this for par. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going. Keeps the momentum on his side.
Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank, so what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot.
Good contact, good result.
Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Second shot. Good look at the green.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That's good work by the former PGA teaching professional, one of the best instructors in the country, with a birdie now inside the cut line. And now the tee shot here at the 472-yard par 4 13th.
A hole that bends to the right, ideally hit it down the left side, and then you're playing to a raised two-tiered green.
This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it stays in the air forever.
Look at the hang time on that.
Right at about 125 yards to where the hole is cut. No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Just a couple of feet. He'll take par and move on. That concludes the second round here at this amazing golf course. And Frank, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
I certainly am as well. The players have gotten off to a very good start, and they must have a good feel for the course right now and know what they have to do in order to win.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present third round coverage of the Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Always a treat to be in Scotland, Frank, and at one of the oldest golf clubs in the world, Royal Troon.
It's getting close to 150 years old. It was first established all the way back in 1878. Actually, the original golf course only had 5 holes on it. But over the Open Championship roster, this has probably been the most successful, or provided the most success to American players. The last 6 Open Championship winners were all American.
Has one of the most famous holes in all of major championship golf, the 123-yard par 3 8th. It's known as the postage stamp, and one of the legends had a really nice moment there many years ago.
The late Gene Sarazen, the Squire, he had a little ace there, all televised too, and it was a great way to remember his phenomenal career.
315. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, this could be good. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Enjoying that trio at the top.
Frank, what happened to Jack Nicklaus here at the 11th hole back in 1962?
Yeah, that was his rookie year. He was actually looking at making 2 majors in a row. He just won the US Open. Came to the 10th hole, and, he made one more than 10, 11 to be precise. So you never know. If you make a 5 or a 6, that's not so bad when you consider what happened to Jack Nicklaus all the way back in 1962.
Frank, what a turn of events here.
You're absolutely right, Rich. This round started off completely on the wrong foot, but he's managed to somehow keep his composure and turn this round completely in the other direction.
Ideal position, sitting up perfectly. So we have 190 yards left. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. Frank, how do you size up the 12th hole here at Royal Troon?
Well, first look at 430 yards, you'd think it'd be a rather easy par 4. But that's not really the issue. The issue is course right and left. What a great shot.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green.
This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. The shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
He has this for par. Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Frank, on paper, 13 seems pretty straightforward. But it's not that simple, is it?
No, very stringent tee shot. Gorse right and left, plus a little sort of mound with some rough on down the right side. So really, you've got to hit the ball down, not just the fairway, but the left side of the fairway.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
It's at sneaky distance.
Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Getting set now over the putt.
And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
Still some time. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14th, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly it more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Good third round, Frank, and a good spot heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present final round coverage of the 144th Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo getting set for the back nine here at historic Royal Troon. What's the 10th hole all about, Frank?
It's called Sandhills, and that's for a reason. Blind tee shot, especially from the championship tees, where you hit it over the sandhills. Ideally, you want to hit the ball about 280, 290 yards.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back nine. Steeply up the hill here. This is going to play very long. And Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
Another good swing. Another good approach shot.
And getting ready for the putt. In for par. Frank, this 11th hole can be a real bear. Even the Golden Bear knows that.
Yeah, just to remind him, in his rookie year in 1962, he made a whopping 11. Now, I can't remember the last time I heard Jack Nicklaus made double figures on one hole.
Yeah, so maybe a bogey 5 or even a double bogey 6. Not so bad.
Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Good swing, good shot yet again. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that.
Even par currently.
And he makes it for par. Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank, so what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Settles in over the putt. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Good par right there, Frank, and pretty good position on this leaderboard.
In that sort of top echelon of the game right now, will be interesting too. A birdie or two coming in, pad the position.
That one came right off the meat of the bat. He really laid into that.
More than got a piece of that.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That birdie will help the cause. Frank, what kind of par 3 is the 14th here?
You can get sucked in here. Just 180 yards, which isn't considered that long. But if you look too much at the front of the green, you're going to see that's where the protection is.
Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. Okay, good shot on the dance floor.
Now, that's a good par there, Rich.
Frank, now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable. Ah, nice.
Looks good. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Continuing his fine play, another beautiful approach shot. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Good birdie right there, moving to 3rd place on the leaderboard. Now the lone par 5 on the back 9, the 16th, and while you might be thinking birdie here, you may want to think again. What are the options off the tee, Frank?
Well, really, there's only one option, and that's keep it short of that burn, which is 280 yards. So that makes that 540 yards play that much longer.
Frank, you've been around this game for a pretty long time. Are players, in fact, more athletic today than they were, say, 20, 25 years ago?
There's no question, Rich, they are. That we've borrowed from other sports. If you can't make the player better, you can make them more athletic. And in the end, you're still making the golfer better. Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Just a couple of feet. Moves into second place with that birdie. Frank, now to the hole they call Rabbit, 222-yard par 3.
I don't know why it's called Rabbit, because this is certainly some tough par 3. Green sits up a little bit. There's a big roll-off on the left side, well bunkered. This takes a brilliant long iron shot just to keep it on the green. This looks like it's going to find the target.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That is a solid par putt. Finally, the 18th at Royal Troon. History, skill, nerves, bunkers, of course, and the clubhouse. Frank, they all come into play on this final hole.
Yeah, 3 bunkers down the left. It's not a case of hitting past those, it's avoiding them. And then if you avoid it too far to the right, there's one nicely placed about 300 yards off the tee that'll catch you there. So there's somehow you've got to craft a tee shot to miss all 4 of those bunkers. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Frank, obviously here at 18, you do not want to be long.
Yeah, err on the side of caution here. You're exactly right. You'd rather be 30 feet short of this flag than 30 feet over the back of the screen, because it might just be out of bounds.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. This is a 9-footer. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Trying to grind out a par here. Needs it. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, just some great golf here today.
Yeah, that's a round to remember. Not often you play that well and you feel like you were head and shoulders above the rest of the field.
What a thrill to watch. And for Frank Nobilo and our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today it's live opening round coverage of the California Classic. Our featured golfer making the turn. Let's pick up with the action at the 10th. Frank, nothing spectacular to this point in the first round. What does the player need to do just to kind of generate some momentum?
I actually think they're playing all right, Rich. It's just, you compared to the top of the leaderboard, you start to think, well, maybe they're struggling. But there's ebbs and flows in this game. At the moment, it's just sort of almost like a holding pattern. But it's time to change that. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, again, this would appear to be a pretty good scoring opportunity.
This is so much about getting the distance right here. Bunkers on the left, there's the water to carry, that's needless to say, but also the mounding that's just behind the screen and to the right. It's very easy to just take the trouble out of play in the front and then find the trouble behind the screen. So second shot, judging the distance, imperative here.
This won't hurt him. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Well, we've arrived at our third par 5 of the day here at PGA West. It is the 11th. It is nicknamed, appropriately, Eternity. 617 yards. That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards.
Second shot.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right. No putter? No problem. Slams that into the cup. 363 yards. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Settles in over the putt. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Holding steady now at 2 under par. And now we're at the par 3 13th hole, 214 yards. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Once considered the best PGA teaching pro in the country, our featured golfer makes birdie and now sits comfortably inside the cut line. This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. It's second round coverage of the California Classic. Well, the architect Pete Dye is known for visual intimidation. We see it at TPC Sawgrass at the Players every year. And you see it right here, Frank, at this 255-yard par 3/6 with water everywhere you look.
Yeah, you could make an argument here that it suits a little bit of a cut, like a Lee Trevino-style fade that starts at the left and moves its way to the green, but then that's also moving back towards the water. Conversely, if you try and fly it over that water on the right side with a little bit of a draw, then the green starts to run out on the left side. Have I made it sound hard?
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I'd say.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. That was not a very good read right there. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. We're at the seventh now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, don't just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Frank, that's the biggest roar I've heard all week long. That was an eagle roar.
For good reason, not just an eagle.
Eighth hole. Frank, is this a two-shotter or a three-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Well, this is the kind of strong wind that will really test a player. Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. And now the second shot here at this par 5.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Has it now to 7 under for the tournament. Frank, the 9th hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the toughest tee shot on the front side. The easy way to bail out down the left side, it might appear that way off the tee, but then it becomes a zigzag hole where it's very easy to clock up something like a 6. The bunker down that right side, just 300 yards to get past that, but it's almost like he gives you an option there. If you do want to challenge that right side, the bunker just might save you from going in the water. But there's no question, the best drive is down the right, but it's the most dangerous one. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Player really needs to be dialed in here. This approach shot is not easy by any stretch here at the 9th. This has really been an airtight performance to this point, just flawless.
This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Can't make it, Frank, if you don't hit it.
Hubert Green once said, 99% of putts left short don't go in. I don't know what happened to the other 1%, but...
Just a couple of feet. That is a solid par putt. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Frank, this really is kind of a good lesson. You and I had said earlier that it looked gloomy, but you dig in, you keep fighting, and something good happens.
You have to credit his composure. What a great shot.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Frank, is this a definite green light, the approach at the par 4 10th?
Well, there's enough opportunities at PGA West for the long hitters. This is an opportunity for the really good iron players. This is where they have a chance to shine, because a good iron player will give himself a birdie putt here. A poor iron player here, all of a sudden they'll find trouble. Should be safely on deck.
Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. No damage done, made the par. Well, we've arrived at our third par 5 of the day here at PGA West. It is the 11th. It is nicknamed, appropriately, Eternity. 617 yards. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Frank, what's involved here in the third shot now at the par 5 11?
Just really setting up a good angle for that third shot. This is, when you lay up, it always pays just to check where the flag is. You want to sort of have a nice, comfortable look or angle to the flag.
Birdie try up next. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Oh yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
Sniffing in the right direction.
Frank, right where you want to be at the midway point of a tournament.
Yeah, you know your game's solid. The focus is more on the leader and that you can just go out and play. Excellent position to be in.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live third round coverage of the California Classic. Rich Lerner with Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We're at the Career Builder Challenge, early season action, hole number 10 as we get going on the backside. And Frank, if you're hitting it low and left or you're hitting it high and right, you can make some big numbers out here. A lot of water.
Well, you certainly can, especially for those people that have to tee off in the 10th, their first tee shot of the day. Somehow sneak it down the left side. 300 yards to get past all those bunkers down the right. I don't know if you want to do that with a cold start. But the further that you can get down this hole, obviously that second shot becomes a little shorter, and you'd like to go in with a short club here. There's a wall, like, I don't know, like the Great Wall of China down that left side of this green.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Looks primed right now.
Anything other than backing up. Very aggressive. That birdie now in second.
Well, Frank, how about this hole? Par 5 11th at 617 yards.
The goal here is to take all those bunkers down that left side completely out of play. If you can hit it far enough down there, you can get close to this green. But if you do stray a little bit, all of a sudden, well, it's called eternity. You're going to find that this hole will play very long. That's fine.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Ooh, that hurts. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Makes a par, but that will not hold the position on the leaderboard.
A lot of aggressive golf going on right now.
Frank, Pete Dye always gets a player thinking what might be going through a player's mind right here.
You're going to play it as a layup. You know, that's a given. It's just what distance you want. And for every distance you're going to hit it off the tee, Pete Dye gives you a different challenge. If you lay it all the way back, obviously you've got the widest fairway. Then you've got the longer second shot. Get a little closer, it starts to shrink up, shrink up, shrink up. So it's how much do you want to bite off?
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Frank here at the par 4 12th, getting ready for this approach shot. Good chance for a 3.
There is. Notice the contours on the green. They sort of slope towards the back and down that left side. So you can actually use that in your favor with this approach.
This is a good-looking shot. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Frank, this is a good position to be in for a player. Making birdies, making some moves.
They're starting to get the momentum, too, for the finish.
Now teeing off here at the par 3 13th. Frank, this TPC Stadium course in La Quinta, California has quite a history, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Every style of golf, age group, whether it's someone trying to get their tour card at the tour school, skins games played here from 1986 to 1991, even the PGA Club Professional Championship, they've all come and played here. It's so good to see it on the back on the rotation. But I've got to say, the one thing, and I was there, in 2000, it was the PGA Tour Q School. It was won by Stephen Allen, who was an Australian player. But the worst thing I've ever seen on a golf course happened on Alcatraz, 17th hole there. Joe Daly, who was looking like he was going to make his PGA Tour card, had a putt of about 3 feet. And I think he was playing with Craig Perks, who went on to win the Players' Championship. Joe Daly hits this putt. It hits the back of the hole, the liner in the hole, and popped out on the front lip. Never saw that before. It was amazing. And as luck would have it, Joe Daly missed his tour card by 1 shot.
That was as cruel a twist as I have ever seen in golf. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there. Well, that was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. Clean this up with a tap. Grabs a share of the lead after making par. Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Good swing, good shot yet again.
This is like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
So, hanging in down the stretch with a par. Now to the par 4, 15th hole, 468 yards. Frank, what do you like about number 15?
The variation of the bunkering here, Rich, I think is excellent. The bunker that meanders its way down the right side tends to go to the right, and then you start to see those 2 bunkers down the left side. You've really got to try and take that second one on the left out of play. That requires something in excess of 280 yards. From there on in, you've got a chance.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Locked in on the read and the speed. That's costly right there.
Painful.
But you can't afford to give away strokes coming down the stretch. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Golf Channel on NBC and EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Well, Frank, we came off a hole that